Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Talking Halos. I'm your host today, Jared Timms, and I am joined alongside my co-host, my partner in crime, Nate Green. But Nate, we're pushing you to the side. We do have another guest. I'm super excited for this one. We have Angels' seventh-round pick from 2001 from Arkansas. He's been doing some big things. Was able to watch him pitch last year. Ryan Costeiu, all the way from Tri-City. How you doing?
Yep. Good, man. How are you?
2021.
21.
You did say 2001.
I gotta give him a hard time,
Oh,
Ryan. It's the best. It's
okay.
the best.
I'm the worst at this. I don't get paid to do this. We just do this for fun. So, but how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm not doing too bad.
I'm doing fantastic now.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. This is fantastic. I love it, guys. Nate, you want to take over for me?
Hot start out of the gate.
It is a hot start.
Nate, you get to take over next time. You're the only one that's going to be on the show next time, not me. I'm taking a day off, but super excited to have Ryan on, talk a little bit of baseball. And first, let's start off with a little rapid fire. We did this with some other guys to start the season off. You okay with doing a little rapid fire?
I don't know that I have a choice.
It's easy. They're easy, I promise.
All right, fine.
All right. So let's get this going here. Best baseball movie.
Bull Durham.
All right. What flavor seed do you eat in?
Low sodium.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that. We did have a sunflower seed incident in AA last year. I'm not going to name any names, but if you watch this show, you know who it was. What flavor Gatorade?
Cool Blue.
I like it. He's with me.
That's a good one.
Absolutely. Let's go on to what flavor gum you eat?
Original Bubble.
Love it. Absolutely love it. If you're starting, are you a home jersey, away jersey, or an alternate jersey picker? What do you pick there? And away by like the gray and home by white, or you like
I think an all gray uniform is like the cleanest looking baseball.
Absolutely. Love it. What is your walk-up/walkout song?
It's been a couple of different things in the past. Last year in college, it was Desperado by Rihanna.
Oh, yeah.
I had a little Rob Zombie heavy metal phase in junior college. Right now, if I had to pick it, the song off the bus in spring training was "Fuss and Fight" by Co Wetzel.
Ooh.
Love it. Absolutely love it. A little bit of everything there. Kind of really like it. So that's all I got for you. Just wanted to get things warmed up before we get going. But first, guys, again, if you could subscribe to this podcast wherever you're watching or listening here, you can follow myself on Twitter at Jared_Timms, Nate at NateGreen34, and of course, Ryan. Where can everybody follow you on Twitter?
Twitter is r_Costeiu.
Absolutely, go do that. Does some fantastic stuff, and again, probably going to be a major leaguer at some point. Super excited again.
That's certainly the plan.
Yeah, that is absolutely the plan. So let's start this off. Got some questions for you. We were talking about it off the air, but how's the housing situation look like? This is the first year that Major League Baseball and Minor League Baseball have given housing to minor leaguers. How's it going up there?
I mean, man, I've only been here for a day, and so far so good.
Sweet.
We really haven't had too many issues. It's clean. It's comfortable. It really has everything we need. Like, we were all a little bit concerned of like, are we going to show up and it's going to be, beds on the floor and no pots and pans. But like, honestly, like it is something like comfortable that like if I sent a picture of this to my mom, she wouldn't be concerned about it. Put it to you that way.
Fantastic. That's great to hear.
Important.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
huge. That's
if
huge.
Mom doesn't approve, then it's not good. So that's important.
I feel like it's a fair way to put it. Like,
it is.
If I texted a picture to my mom and she was like, "Oh, honey, like we need to do something about that,"
Yeah.
like. But genuinely, like it's safe. They're nice. They're fairly newly renovated. Like we got a pretty good setup so far.
That's again fantastic to hear. Better than guys staying in motorhomes and guys sleeping in clubhouses and such like that. So
absolutely,
yeah, huge, fantastic. I'm excited to see what continues for minor leaguers here. I'm thinking this is just the first step, but yeah, that's huge to hear. Great to hear from you. Next question. Let's get on a draft day, shall we? Drafted in the 7th round in 2021.
There you go.
2021.
Proud of you.
Thank you, everybody. What was that day like? Were you expecting it? Was it maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, obviously, we'll go with hopeful expectations. I wasn't a bulletproof concrete day 2 guy. We knew that it could be day 2, could be day 3, could be, a lot of conversations, could be a lot of offers thrown on the table that we had split-second decisions to make. So but it was also a Monday. So like my parents went to work. Everybody it was like a very like normal day. It wasn't this like, throw a big draft party and do this whole thing. It was, I hung out with my nephew. He's 12. We played MLB The Show. I have pictures of us playing MLB The Show in the living room, and I have sitting watching the draft tracker between my legs, answering phone calls and texts from my agent while I'm playing the show. I actually got drafted. I think it's a pretty like NorCal only chain, but I don't know if you've ever heard of Nation's Hamburgers.
I haven't. No.
It's like a Northern California chain where I'm from. But I got drafted in the Nation's parking lot. So like,
That's
again,
awesome.
like the coolest Monday of my life for sure, but like honestly felt like a very regular Monday.
That's good. But do you remember what you ordered at least?
Yeah, I think I had it. Ooh, I did 2 cheeseburgers. I'm not a big French fry guy, so if I'm hungry, I'll opt for an extra burger instead of the fries.
That's awesome. That's cool to hear. A day that, again, you'll never forget. Obviously, I mean, you remember what you ate. You remember it was a Monday. Gotta ask. I mean, was it always the Angels? Was it like, man, the Angels looked at me a couple times and during games, talked to them, and then, or was it some other teams looking at you too?
No, I had literally never talked to the Angels.
Oh.
When I got drafted, the phone number, and I mean, I guess this happens to a lot of guys in terms of like, depending on who calls you, you may not have their phone number, but like, I've never talked to the Angels. The Angels were never like like this is a pick that we should really focus on here because this is a team we've talked to a ton. I've actually been kind of surprised, and I've heard that from multiple other guys throughout our draft class, which tells me that obviously with drafting that many pitchers, they had a plan, but it also tells me that they took a very analytical mindset into the draft. I mean, that's the only way that it's the only way it makes any sense. Like, what are you looking at if you really haven't had a whole lot of like personal communication with a player? And I think honestly, I think they were looking at like game makeup and then just like, what do we look like stuff wise on paper, which for the way the culture of the organization's going, like makes a lot of sense. Like guys want to win and they want to win right now. And we're going to go wherever and do whatever we have to do to get the guys we think we can win with right now.
Yeah. And that's been something that we've talked about on this show many of times. It's the minor league record and such like that. And how to differentiate between development and winning in the minor leagues too. Cause I think both of those are very, very important things, like
it's the same.
Yeah. I think it's the exact same at this point too. You can't just worry about winning, but if you're winning, you probably developing is at the same time too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very interesting concept. And like we talked with Kenny Rosenberg, and we talked with a bunch of guys about, the difference between winning and development. And there's been a huge shift in trying to win more games in the minor leagues now compared to just just development in a sense. Like nobody cares about winning. It's like just such an I mindset, which you also have to have a little bit too, because baseball is a you game in a sense. So I just think it's such an interesting concept to like think about and try to break down, but I don't know if there's
I will say too, in terms of like thinking about winning, I think you could almost take it a step deeper with what our organization is trying to do. Like especially you look at the AA and the high A rosters. Obviously there's some really good younger prospects that are starting in that IE team right now, but if you look at the Tri-Cities and the Rocket City roster, you can really group areas of players together. And I think that while they're trying to get us to win, they're trying to teach us how to win together as a group.
Yeah, that's huge.
It was really interesting. Like I think Instructs last year was a huge step forward. We had quite a bit of guys come back that weren't necessarily last year's draft. But they kept that young core group together. They truly, one, financially invested in recently, but also like believe like, okay, these are the homegrown pieces we have that we think we can win with, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. Like that seems like a long ways away, but we're going to blink and it's going to be here.
Yep.
Absolutely. And that's how you become the Dodgers and the Astros and the Yankees rather than those one-hit wonder teams, in a sense, that like
Mm-hmm.
come and they make the playoffs or they make 2 World Series berth, and then next year it's like, well, we start struggling. I think that's the first
Yeah.
important key. So that's fantastic to hear that the Angels are changing it up in a sense and trying to be better in the future and now, because I think that
Yeah.
that's a big first step. So I mean, you touched on analytics. Are you big into that? Like Rapsodo, you get the Edtronic camera out there and all that fun stuff, or are you
Yeah, I mean,
so?
I like it. I understand it. I'm gonna give myself fairly well. I'm not gonna pat myself on the back on that one too much, just because there's so much to understand.
Okay.
I played it to college programs where it was pretty prevalent in part of our development. And I'm super grateful for that, just because like walking into the door in professional baseball with an understanding, even if it was just a base level understanding, like you're so much further ahead of guys who are like trying to learn professional baseball and trying to learn it at the same time, because it's so integrated in the game. I think that there's a place for it, but it's a tool. That's all it is. It's not the game. It's a tool. It's a way that certain guys can get a better understanding of what's going on. You're still going to have your guys that can just pitch, that just know how to, like, I can sit here, I can read your swing, and I can just tear you apart. Same thing with guys that can just flat out rake. But I think that what analytics does is, for your kind of middle of the road guys, it certainly opens your door a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, they're great coaching tools, but I don't think you can solely rely on them. They're fantastic to, like, and I've been told this, I don't know who told me this ever, but numbers just back up what is true, like at the end of the day. And that's what those numbers are telling you.
It takes the guess out of it. It takes the, some guy who's been, coaching professional baseball for 40 years that thinks he sees something, like, now I have a number to like connotate it towards.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. And you're not looking at, I mean, the best example that I give is like, you look at like an Adam Ottavino slider, and it's like, okay, like, yeah, it's loopy and you can think it's a high spin efficiency slider, but then once you get the numbers on it, it's like, okay, yes, now it is a high efficiency slider. I love the high efficiency slider. That's my favorite. But besides the point, Nate,
the sweeper is the pitch right now.
Yes, I absolutely love it. I do. Nate, I know you had a couple questions for Ryan.
Yeah, but sweeper, the Athletic just came out with the Yankees slider thing. Fantastic read if you guys get a chance for that. But Ryan, you got a chance to play at one of the best programs in the country. You got a chance to be a part of the number 1 team in the country. You were at Arkansas. What was that like? What was it like playing for Dave Van Horn? Also, what was it like culture-wise there? Because I know that's a big thing that we like to talk about. What does the culture of a winning team look like for you?
I think the culture of it is very interesting in that it's not your average college program at all. And that even took me time getting used to, even though, I came in the door with 2 years of college under my belt, but like I came from a super gritty junior college where like everybody wore the exact same uniform. Everybody had to shave before the game. Like, it was very like, and I don't think Arkansas was like not that way, but it's 9 of the most talented 18 to 22-year-olds you've ever seen on the field. And like, how do we all do our job to the best of our abilities so that we win games? And obviously there's a level of like personal relationship that kind of glues everybody together. But that was like, Arkansas prepared me so much for professional baseball because how much they run that team like a professional team. It's, you're not going to perform, we have another guy right behind you that will, which is an interesting balance of like, you have to learn how to like not play scared. Especially as a bullpen piece last year, like I had the best closer in the country behind me. Like my leash was like that long. So, I knew in the back of my mind that like, okay, if I screw up here, like I'm going to get pulled. You just have to get over it. Yep. And you just have to like learn how to like, I'm going to go out here, I'm going to do my job, and like, I'm going to control the things that I can. And after that, coaches make coaching decisions. That's not my job. So I think that was the number one takeaway, and the number one thing that made the transition to professional baseball almost seamless.
That's huge. Yeah, and my buddy has mentioned some of the same things. He was there a year or two before you. So, yeah, very similar answer. I think that's kind of what's great about Arkansas is they really prepare you for the major leagues. So,
absolutely.
Did you have a teammate that you were like, man, this guy's going to be a big leaguer like now? Like you play with some
Um,
really really good players. I know. I know Dayton Moore's kid
yeah.
was on that team.
Um,
Go ahead.
obviously, Kevin Cops, you know, potentially
Right
the
behind you.
greatest season of as a college baseball pitcher ever. You know, he's going to be a big leaguer right away because he has big league tools and he has a big league brain. Um, the thing I also love about Kev is like Kev is, and I will stand by this, is like the best human being I've ever met in my life, which just makes him an incredible teammate.
Yeah.
In terms of like a dude with just flat out big league tools, I put Caden Wallace at the top of my list.
Okay.
He played outfield for us last year. He's playing third base, hitting leadoff for him right now. Plus speed, plus arm, plus bat. Like he's the most 5-tool player I've ever seen in my life. And I've played, all over the SEC last year with absolute dudes, all over California as a kid growing up. Like I've seen tons of first round picks, tons of guys who are in the show now, and Caden Wallace is like really close to the top of the list.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Especially, I mean, probably a top 10 pick this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, as a sophomore eligible too.
Yeah, sophomore eligible. That's pretty impressive. And I know we kind of wanted to touch on Dave Van Horn a little bit. That guy is a legend in the game. How is playing for him?
He is intense, is how I would explain him. Yeah, he's a lot. And there's a reason he's so good, is like he knows how to push guys like to their limit and then make them find another limit. Is he the most lovey-dovey, going to give you a big hug after the game coach in the world? Absolutely not. He's probably the farthest thing from that. But in terms of like teaching people, like teaching boys how to be grown men and like get the absolute most out of their baseball career, like I don't know if there's anybody better.
Was there ever a moment like, man, this guy's gonna kill us? Like I know I've had that on college teams.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know that I could talk about this moment.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. So there have been moments. I know that we've all been there as former college players, where it's like,
oh no, like I know exactly what we're talking about, but the amount of vulgar words that I would have to spit out to explain those stories, like we're gonna leave it at yes.
It wasn't even straight. It wasn't even running. It was just the vulgar swearing that happened. We
never. See, that was the thing, is like it was, again, very much like professional baseball. Like I can't name a time where we really had to do like physical punishment. You hear a lot of college baseball programs, you get swept at home on the weekend and you run polls all day on Monday. Like it was never like that, but it was like the most stern talking to you've ever had in your life, where you were just scared within an inch of your life and it was only words.
Yep. Yeah. I think we've all been there, and I hated that coaching. Like I was a coach and I was scared of our head coach. I was like, dude, this is not going to be a fun one here. I get to watch you guys run and watch him yell, but like, I don't want to be a part of this. Like, I'm just going to kind of go away. So I think we've all been there. So Nate, you got anything else for Ryan before we let him go?
I was just going to say you were part of two pretty cool teams last year. What was your most memorable experience in the minor league so far? I know that's a tough one.
Oh, no, I got this one. So when I got moved up to Tri-Cities, we played Eugene that last week of the season. And there's a kid who was 3 years above me in high school. His name's Armani Smith. He's an outfield prospect for the Giants. Played at UC Santa Barbara. And he was on that Eugene team. And I was not very good in high school. So like when he would have been a senior, I'd have been a sophomore and like a very like bottom tier JV player as a sophomore in high school. So I was like, this dude's got no idea who I am. And he found out that I was on the team, and like the first day during BP, like came up and gave me a huge hug and was like, dude, I'm so proud of you. This is so cool. This is awesome. Like, you did great during the college year. And I was like, I genuinely like wasn't going to say anything because I thought he had no idea who I was. And like, he came and said hi to me. And like, that was just because it was such a personal level. Obviously, my family getting to watch my pro debut because we were in California, like stuff like that was cool. But like on the most personal level, like that's been my coolest moment so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. I mean, it's a brotherhood. We haven't been there, but it's for sure a brotherhood. Everybody kind of knows
No,
everybody.
absolutely.
That's awesome to hear that. So, man, again, thanks for jumping on and talking with us here.
Absolutely.
Good luck this season. I'm hoping that you're out of Tri-City before I'm able to get up there and into Double-A and hopefully Triple-A with the way that this team's promoting guys. But if you're out there, I hope to see you as well. So
absolutely. Well, gentlemen, have a great evening, and thank you guys.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.